Hello again from Austria. You know, one of the many great things about Austria is the hiking. In this video, I'll show you a hike along the beautiful Almsee mountain lake. Now, almost every time I see a lake in Austria, I think, wow, that's gorgeous. This is one of those lakes. It's much smaller than the nearby Traunsee that featured in an earlier video, and you can walk right round it. And it's not as busy either, at least not at its northern end. Here it is from above. So, a few Almsee facts. It's a lake in the Almtal valley, in Upper Austria's part of the Salzkammergut region. The lake lies in the northern portion of the Totes Gebirge, or Dead Mountains. On the other side of these mountains is the Austrian state of Steiermark. The lake's elevation is 589 metres and its average depth is just 2.5 metres. And it's 2.3 kilometres long and up to 700 metres wide, so it's small enough to walk around in a couple of hours. Almsee formed behind a large Ice Age landslide, and the lake's water comes from the surrounding mountains. Some of the inflow is from mountain streams, but water also emerges from springs that open into the lake bed. This is mountain water that has been channeled through faults in the rocks, and you can actually see that water, mixed with air, bubbling up into the lake. All that mountain water entering a small shallow lake makes the lake relatively cold, and cool water can hold plenty of oxygen. And this is an oligotrophic lake. Low pollution levels keep algal blooms at bay, which also helps to maintain oxygenation. So, like a lot of Austrian lakes, the water is clean and full of fish. In fact, the water was so clear when we visited that the fish almost seemed to be flying on top of the water. If you're hiking in this area, there are plenty of information boards. This one shows the Almufer trail, which spans over 50 kilometres from the Traun River, following the River Alm to the Almsee. But we only had a few hours, so we started just near the Almsee end of the trail and followed the river upstream. The Alm is the primary outflow for the Almsee, and this water will eventually flow down into the Traun and then into the Danube. We began our hike from the small car park at Habernau, next to the rather neat sign for the Gasthof Jagerzimmel, and then followed the well-marked trail for maybe just over a kilometre. Now, by Austrian standards, hiking here is just an easy walk. Better watch out for exposed tree roots though. I managed to trip over one, and we needed our first aid kit to patch up my grazed knee. Still, it's worth approaching the lake on foot this way because you suddenly arrive at the lake's northern end and a panorama opens up. This is where you can join the circular route around the lake, and there's a car park here too, so you'll probably encounter a few more people. It's definitely worth just pausing here for a few minutes to admire the view and the almost perfect reflections in the water. After a brief pause, we walked south along the eastern shore, which is on the right side of the lake in this picture. We headed for the large car park at the south end of Almsee, and you can also see that the road to the car park follows the opposite shore of the lake, on the left. As you follow the path and peek through the trees, you get idyllic views of a couple of boathouses sitting on shimmering reflections of themselves, and there are a couple of small gravel beaches. This one was occupied by a family of mute swans and cygnets. At the southern end of the lake there are more people, not just hikers, and you might well see tour and school groups. This is a nature reserve, so there's plenty to see and learn here. Still, it's a bit of a shock to leave the peaceful bit of the hike behind. The car park here is big enough to accommodate a large number of cars and tourist coaches. I should add here that there's also a scheduled bus service which makes it accessible for travellers without their own transport. And lots of people means that there's also somewhere to get refreshments. In fact, there's a very pleasant restaurant here nestled right under the mountains. It's called Seehaus, and it was getting quite busy with the lunchtime crowd when we arrived just a little before 1 p.m. I think a busload of people were arriving, but we managed to find a table outside, which we shared with two friendly strangers. I had schnitzel here, which was really rather good. You're never far away from a schnitzel in Austria. After leaving Seehaus, we walked farther around the lake to take in the spectacular view, but the road here is quite busy, so we decided to backtrack, and it was well worth it. In just a couple of hours the sun had shifted enough to make the panorama subtly different, with new patterns of shade on the mountains and light glittering on the water. Well, we had a great day out at Almsee. The heat of summer was already gone, but the winter chill hadn't yet arrived. The bottom line, I'm looking forward to exploring more of this amazing country. Well, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please click the like button below and subscribe to my channel, and maybe leave some comments in the comments section below. I hope to see you again very soon with more from Austria, and in the meantime you can follow me on Twitter and on Facebook. So that's all for now. Bye!